All right, guys, I'm Hot Meditations. This is my wife, Kelly.
Hello.
And if you see us like on our phones or writing, we're taking notes because we like to take it as serious as possible and we like to learn, and we are still learning. So forgive us if any of the information we say is incorrect, but we try and be as correct as possible and give our personal experiences. So we're excited to learn more about Islam and more about all religions. So let's get into it. And
you know, something must be wrong when almost every single song has sex as its basis. When rap stars get famous after making lyrics that are shameless. When a woman is expected to sleep with a man who doesn't even know what her name is. And when artists are paid to degrade the very women that have made them. To the point they are nothing more than pieces of plastic that we can dispose of once they are no longer attractive. It's sickening and sadistic that this world's become so misogynistic. And you can call me unrealistic, but just listen to the statistics. 7 in 10 men view porn, while over 75 million are addicted. 68 million requests a day for pornographic pictures, making 1 in 4 searches sexually related. It's like nobody even knew she existed until she got naked, degraded and abused over and over again just to gain millions of views. It's a shame we've subdued to a definition of beauty which is so misconstrued, as we judge each other's looks off of Facebook likes, Instagram pictures to filter off what we really look like. See, we are so obsessed with our outside, we have slowly lost sight of who we really are in real life. I mean, it's sad to see so many teens lose their self-esteem. Looking at these magazines thinking they have to look like what they see. Please, you are worth much more than a 2D image on a screen. You are a living, breathing human being. If only you knew what you really mean. Just look into your history books and begin to read of all the girls in the world who are capable to achieve, and you will surely see with certainty females like Fatima al-Fihri, who opened the first ever university, Rufaida al-Islamiyya, the first nurse to perform surgery, and Aisha bint Abi Bakr, the greatest female scholar in eternity. It's a shame you probably haven't even heard of these great female prodigies. Honestly, we don't need to give up our modesty in order to be successful. For you are worth much more than a commodity that is sexual. You have so much more potential if only you knew your worth. You could be like the greatest of all women to have walked this earth, like Mary, the mother of Jesus, chosen by Allah to be an example for the believers, a woman who stood strong even when she was abused, falsely accused and ridiculed for things she'd never ever do, so it didn't really matter when there was nobody else beside her, for she knew that God was Ar-Razzaq and her ultimate provider, and she had a trust in Him alone. Just like Asiya, the wife of Fir'aun, a woman who was brave and courageous, stood up for what was right and didn't let anybody change this. A woman who was fearless and laughed in the face of death, for she gave up the riches of this life for a palace in the next. Next up, Khadija, the mother of the believers, a wealthy merchant who had nurtured the Prophet for over 25 years, his first wife, the love of his life, and the mother of his kids. She was the first to believe in him when nobody else ever did. She just is, beyond any words that can make you understand. So much so that even Allah sent her His salam. She was grand, and Allah assured her, just like her daughter, Fatima, the master of all women in paradise, a woman who would shine so bright she was nicknamed as Zahra, the splendid one with the most generous of hearts, a woman who gave up so much of her food she had no choice but to fast. She would fight on behalf of her father even as a little girl. And such are the examples of the greatest woman in the entire world. And it had nothing to do with how they looked, but for who they truly were. So ignore the standard of success defined by society, when God has said that the best of mankind are those who have piety, regardless of your shape, your color, or your race. For God does not look at your bodies, nor does he look at your face. Rather, he looks towards your heart and checks your faith. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the people say or who they think you are, when you could be like the greatest of all women in the eyes of Allah. The greatest woman.
That was really cool.
Whoa. That was mind-blowingly powerful now. Because how he even talked about how rap a lot of times is just negative against women, and then everything's misogynist in a certain way of actual women doing it to themselves, because a lot of times women don't know their self-worth. So I know a lot of women who struggle with self-worth and self-love and loving themselves. And once you get to that point and you're actually struggling with loving yourself, then a lot of times it's just hard to really just take a step back and truly look at your problems and be the whole person that you need to be to help other people, because you don't have that love from within yourself. So there's a lot of women that are around me, and I try and specialize in helping women as much as I can, as much as possible. And how he even said 7 out of 10 men watch porn, and there's like 700,000 addicted to porn. Now, I don't watch porn, so I'm one of those guys that doesn't watch it, because it's like, what's the point? You know, I have a beautiful wife. It's just, why would I do that?
It's not good, because you'll just watch these videos and these kind of basically degenerate type videos, and then that's in your mind, you know, and it wouldn't even exist in your mind state if you didn't know if these types of videos existed. And then you might start getting, I guess, what is it called? Not cravings, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Well,
but basically, like,
here's the
into
thing.
things that you wouldn't have been into if you didn't see it.
Here's the thing. If you don't have a strong mind and a strong will, it can take over you. So especially because it'd be like if you go into a VR game and you had everything in that world, you had all the money, all the, you know, clout, whatever you want in that world. But then in the real world, you're nobody. So it would make you not even want to pursue that. So if all you're doing is watching porn, you may not want to pursue a beautiful woman because you feel like you don't even need to. And that is really just breaking apart family values and the family as a whole and religion as a whole, because it's teaching people to be selfish and do whatever you want. Don't worry about what's good. Don't worry about what God wants you to do. It's all about, you know, being selfish and negativity. So that what he said is absolutely true and correct.
Exactly. And that made me think of all the women that he brought up. I was taking note of, because you notice he mentioned how all of these women sacrificed something, did something selflessly. And not only that, but they were either a mother, a wife, or a daughter. So what made them special and have an important role as a woman was something for their family unit. And they were living not selfishly. So when we look at all of this facade today of how there's so much sexuality with women, but you have to think that if you're going out and doing the OnlyFans or whatever, these sexualizing yourself for money, it's very, very selfish. You don't care about what it means to your family. You don't care what it's going to mean to your children/future children. You don't even care really what it does to the men, because it's really not good for them. Like, you're not really helping the world by doing this type of career. It only helps you. So it's a very selfish thing. And we've gotten into the society where it's kind of almost praised for women to be selfish. But to me, a divine man, masculine, and divine feminine is not about being selfish at all.
Yeah, and you brought up a very interesting point, Kelly, because, well, number one, all women are daughters. Number one. But
well, I know, but I think my point is that
I know what you're saying. I know, I'm just joking.
That's what made being a daughter is special.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just joking. I know you meant like it's just being about close with your family and all that. Yeah. But you brought up a very interesting point, because if you guys that are watching the channel and fans of the channel, you know that every time you see Kelly, she's dressed modestly, she's dressed nice, she's covered up, because that is how I want my wife to dress. I don't want my wife wearing skimpy clothes and out here doing whatever and going out with girls and getting crazy. I want a traditional marriage with a wife that's going to be a conservative woman, that's not conservative in a way that she's not just going out and doing whatever. She's, if you have a woman and she has your family name, they need to bring that respect back into the world.
Yeah.
You need to start showing respect for your last name and your family name. As you said, you're being selfish if you're not even thinking about what would my family think. Now, that doesn't mean if your family's crazy and they just want you to do crazy things to just listen to it.
Yeah.
But it's not being unreasonable, just wanting to be a productive and respectable woman in society that doesn't have to show their body just for attention or money.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't always dressed as conservatively or whatever is now. I never was into like showing a lot of skin, but over the past few years, as I dressed a little more modesty, a little more modest, I've really come to really, really enjoy it. And I feel even more feminine when I dress like this, because I know that I'm still very confident with how I look, and I don't have to prove that to anyone. It's something sacred for me and my husband. And it honestly makes me feel more confident just knowing that I am a walking treasure. That sounds kind of conceited, but and it's like, that's not meant to be for anyone, A treasure's not a treasure if anyone can go in the pot and grab it or look at it.
Absolutely right, Kelly. No, you're right. And that's the beautiful thing. That's why if you're a young man out there and you're looking for a wife, you need to have someone that has the same values as you. So if you don't have the same, you could be complete opposites. But if you have the same values, if you have the same values, and family's important, and love and being selfless, all that's important to both of you, then it's going to work. But if your values are completely different, she doesn't care about God, she doesn't care about any of that, then it's not going to work if you do. And we both love God and we both care about respecting God and the family name. So
yeah, that was great. It was completely what I agree on. I'm all about where women building their inner beauty, their inner self-esteem. And honestly, when you do build that and you feel beautiful inside, you will glow more and become more beautiful on the outside.
Oh, absolutely.
And one thing he didn't touch on also going on with women now is, the body changes and the lip fillers and the BBLs. He did that a little bit. He did? Okay.
Well, he was talking about covered in plastic. So
gotcha. Okay.
He didn't really get deep into it, but yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's another thing going on that I hope women can just learn to love themselves more, because we are all beautiful beings.
No, women are all beautiful. Seriously. Yes. If you watch the show One Piece, it's like Sanji, where it says all women are beautiful. So that's truly how I feel. But guys, we really appreciate you guys. Someone requested this on the post. I'm looking at it right now. Let me give that guy credit. Jed Legacy 9556 requested this video 10 days ago. The greatest woman spoken word. I'm sure other people did, and we really appreciate it, guys. So having this list right here, if you haven't seen this list, this is where we're going to be looking at to see what people want to see. So check back on this list, and we're reading it and looking at it. So thank you guys for watching. We're going to film some more videos for you, and enjoy it. Thank you.